Hi, and we are live again with my Snappy Chats, and I'm super excited to be here again in 2024. Last year was amazing. This year is going to be even more fantastic. And guess what? I got the most amazing guest today. Her name is Isabelle. We're going to talk more about her just now. But just very quickly, I'm Kristine Bell. I'm a customer strategist. And what I'm all about is really learning and growing in our businesses. I'm all about understanding the target market, but we're not going to be talking about me. We're going to talk about how we can all learn and grow together. Because the one thing I found in small business, as a small business owner, is this: it can get really, really lonely, especially if we're one-man, two-man band. And what I've also learned is we all go through the same challenges, so we can all learn and grow from each other. And this is why I'm doing Snappy Chat. So I hope you get something out of it. I know I'm going to get lots out of it because Isabelle is amazing. So I met Isabelle through the Hounds of Business and Mike Ashenbrowner, who is kindly helping us in the back room today. He's the most amazing guy. If you don't know him, reach out to him. The Hounds of Business is amazing. It's great community. It's all about growing together, learning skills from each other. So please join us. But with this in mind, Isabelle, oh my goodness, you're in Canada. You're amazing. You are a brilliant mindset strategist. I love what you're all about. Your emotional intelligence is just so high. Your wisdom and how much you've given to me since I've known you in the last half year has been amazing. So thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. You're so sweet.
Thank you. Please tell us a little bit more about yourself before we get into today's topic.
Well, I'm Isabelle Fortin, and I'm a mindset coach, and I help business managers and team managers to get the most out of their teams. That's what I do. And how you can't lead everybody the same way, and how can you apply mindset to get in the minds of your employees and your team members so you can get the best performance out of them. That's what I do.
I love that. And in doing that as well, you also get the team members to become even better people in themselves and learn more about themselves too. And I love that you're also a public speaker, by the way. So not only are you great at helping working with teams, you're also great at inspiring others, and you certainly inspired me. So with this in mind, let's talk about a challenge that you faced in business.
Oh man, so many. And what you said in the introduction is so resonated with me as a solopreneur, and I live alone too. It gets really, really, really lonely. And, of course, it's important to be surrounded, on LinkedIn, in our own communities. And that's where I draw my force from, and my willingness to just push through some of the crap that we have to go through, right? So so too many challenges to count, seriously.
I understand. You know what? I didn't realize when I started a business 8 years ago, I burned out and I literally walked out of a job. I did not realize that starting to work for myself was actually the start of my personal development journey. I didn't even know what it was. And for the last 8 years, it's just been one layer of the onion that keeps peeling and peeling and peeling. And I think that's part of the journey as a small business owner, is we need to actually really get on that personal development journey, because it's what's going to sustain us. It's what's going to make us step out of our limiting beliefs and become bigger and enjoy our business more.
Yeah, totally agree with you. I mean, I think that some people either don't feel the need or don't have the capacity or whatever to go that route. And undoubtedly, some of them still find some kind of monetary success. But I think that if you want to succeed more than just on the money, on the financial level, personal development is very important as a solopreneur, as an entrepreneur, as a leader, as a thought leader. That's for me anyway. I totally agree with you. Yeah.
And I just want to call out, we got so many people here right now from the beyond who are here to support us. So we appreciate you so much.
Hi, guys.
Now, one of the things that you and I have been talking about in the last couple of days is to keep our joy in business, and it can be a challenge. So do you want to talk a bit more about that from your perspective as well?
I think cultivating joy in general in our lives is difficult, because it doesn't come easy, because it's easier for even our brain, even like on the psychological level and on a neuronal level, it is easier to just stay in the crap piece of, set mindset that we're in, or in the victim mindset that we're in. But joy is such a high intensity, high energy, high vibration emotion and state of mind, because it's not only an emotion, it is also a state of being and it is so powerful. It is as powerful as true love. And I'm not, a lot of people confuse love with romantic love. No, you can love your pet, your friends, your family, your neighbors, your garden, the flowers in your house. You can I'm talking about the energy of love. Well, joy is as powerful as that. But the thing is, Kristine, is you have to choose it, because sometimes cultivating joy demands great effort and great awareness. You have to say, okay, no, yeah, I could go deep in that pile of crap, but I'm going to choose joy, and I'm going to find what I'm joyful about.
That is
not easy.
No, it's not easy, and yet it's so important in life and in business too, because life inevitably is full of a lot of challenges, a lot of heartache, a lot of tricky situations that we all go through. In the last few years have been no different, probably a little bit more intense, if anything. And it's so hard to stay joyful sometimes when things are really hard in business or in life. Yeah, when we go through a difficult situation. So yeah, with this in mind, I just had saying something to me in the ears. I don't know what that was. Hopefully they don't run out. But anyway, yeah, it's so important. And one person actually said to me, joy actually stands for the journey of you.
Oh, I love that.
Isn't that? Because how do we then, in terms of keeping our joy in our business specifically, how do we keep that joy when things are going tough? What are your advice? How have you been able to keep doing that?
I'm a big laughter advocate. I laughed in every situation, and I'm not even kidding. And for some of the people watching, they know what happened to me in the last 24 hours. I've had to put down my dog less than 24 hours ago, and it wasn't for lack of love or lack of compassion, but inside of this entire hell of a moment and difficult moment that I was stuck in, I found something to laugh about, because that, for me, that's what works best to connect to joy and to stay in joy as long as I possibly can. I'm not going to sit here and look at you in the face and say I laughed the entire time, because it wasn't A, appropriate, and B, that's not how it felt inside. But for me, laughter, finding anything that brings me laughter, and finding laughter in everything, because that too is a choice. There's always something funny. And you know what, Kristine, you said something that really resonated with me just now. Business is hard, obviously. If it was easy, everybody would do it. Life is hard. Life is hard. Life can, beat us up, drag us in the mud, and sometimes it's a real big bitch. Let's not, pretend. So if you don't cultivate joy, if you don't find something to laugh at inside the difficult moments, goodness gracious, your life's going to be long. It's going to be painful. So it doesn't mean to put our hurt aside when we are hurt. It doesn't mean to put, if you need to cry, if you feel like crying, for the love of God, allow yourself that emotion. Just don't move in that emotion, and say, well, I'm sad, therefore I'm going to stop living.
I love what you're saying. You know what? I think when you talked about laughter, there's actually a release in laughter too. When we're feeling really like we're on struggle street or we're hurting, there's laughing can actually help releasing it. And I'll just talk. Yes. I hope Sierra doesn't mind. I just had a session with the beautiful Sierra from the house. And we're talking, she's beautiful, and she's on here right now. So if you don't know her, reach out to her. But I was talking about something in my business where I'm feeling a struggle at the moment, and I'm a little bit in a panic or in a state of, oh my goodness, how do I go through this? How do I work through this? Mm-hmm. And as I was like, she allowed me to not only voice my frustration, but at the same time, as the tears were coming, I was also laughing and smiling, and we just smile each other, go, you know what? We're here because we're meant to be here right now, trusting that we have to go through to this to release, to come out at a place where we find even more laughter and joy. It's part of the process, I believe,
Yes.
to finding that joy within us, from a real perspective. I don't know what you think of that.
I agree with you. And you know, when you connect with somebody like Sierra, I mean, you feel seen and you feel heard and you're understood, like right away, right? And I feel that way with you. And that's very, very
Likewise.
important.
And
And
then
I
again,
think, thank you, Anne. But that's very important. All these things are very important. And when they occur, it makes connecting to joy, and it makes finding the laughter inside difficult situations easier, because you've been heard and you've been seen and you've been validated. So, you know, like there's a 2018 study from Harvard University that about emotions. And they said that when an emotion is allowed to live, think of an emotion as a bug. And let's say the bug is allowed to live its entire life and it's recognized for what it is and is not diminished. It's not made feel small. It is just accepted as is. You know how long that emotion lives? 90 seconds.
Not much, so we
That's
can move through it. We can move through the emotions really quickly when we're seen and heard.
exactly 90 seconds. So if you are validated, like Sierra did for you and like you do for me, if you are allowed to live in that moment and you're acknowledged and you're not, oh, you know, you're not right to feel this way, then you can just move on after that. And that's how you find the laughter and the little thing, by having a good support people and people that truly are there for you. And the best thing that I've heard in my last 24 hours, you know what it is, Kristine, and I think it's appropriate here, is love is not what I want from you. It is what I want for you.
I
So
love that. That's so beautiful and so profound.
I
And
would
you
have
know what?
held on. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I would have held on to Oscar for another 17 years if I would have been able. But I loved him enough to put him down because he started to suffer. So it's the same thing when you find true support, like we have in the house, because then you're seen, so you can move forward.
And with that in mind, I hope you don't mind me sharing, you and I and CJ from the house were actually just on a call around creating networking events within the house. So if you don't know the house, it's amazing skills, networking events, etc. Do join us if you want to. But if you don't mind me sharing, we actually started the call, 3 of us, just talking about Oscar. And all 3 of us were crying at the same time. And we shared a moment. And it was wonderful, and it was light, and it was deep, and it was meaningful, and it was supportive from all 3 of us. And it wasn't just about Oscar, it was in general. We all, love our fur boy babies, etc. We understand, we empathize, we get it,
Yeah.
And somehow we moved through that, had a good laugh, and the next thing we had 20 minutes of just awesome connection and working together and getting something done in business,
And the productivity was there.
Yeah.
Because we allowed that moment. And you know what fascinates me with this is you're in Sydney, Australia. I'm in Montreal, Canada, and CJ is in California. Yeah. So like like you and CJ are a world apart. You're at the other end of the earth, and yet here we are, and we're sharing a real human experience and a real human connection.
And real joy in a moment, because sometimes joy is not something we hold on to for a long time. It's a short moment, and we feel it so enormously that it lights us up for a long period, even if it's not consistent. So beautiful. Now we're at the end of our 15-minute Snappy Chat. I would love to talk to you for an hour, and I'm sure we will soon. But for the Snappy Chat purposes, we will finish up now. So just with this in mind, how can people reach out to you, and how can they get to know you better, please?
The best way right now is on LinkedIn. Obviously, if they're a Hounds member, they can connect with me inside the Mighty Networks. That's the best way right now. That's the best way. I'm going through a little bit of a change. Not what I do, not what kind of services that I offer, but who I offer it to.
Yeah.
So the best way is really on I'm
On
sorry,
LinkedIn.
I'm being distracted on LinkedIn, Isabelle Fortin.
Yeah. And we got your LinkedIn is right in the post, and it's also running on the banner because Mike taught me this today. So thank you for Mike for being in the back room, being an amazing help and support. This is what you get in the house, yeah? And what I love, just to finish up, and I'll let you also give a final thought here, is, you know, the fact that you can connect with people, small business owners around the world because of technology. Wow, yeah. I have now got friends in you and around the world, and it's like, we don't have to be in the same room to have that connection and to help and support each other in business.
Very true. And imagine how batshit crazy we're going to get when we actually all meet.
Yeah, it's so exciting. It's so exciting. Any last thought from you, and then we'll finish up?
Cultivate joy. Joy is a choice. Cultivate it. Plant it.
Love it.
Look at it like a flower. Plant it, nourish it, feed it. Love it.
And keep tapping into it wherever you can and have that laugh. I
Absolutely.
thank you so much for your time. We're going to finish now. I appreciate you. You're wonderful. I love you dearly. And come and meet us in the house.
Bye, guys.
Bye.